Hello everyone. In this video, we'll see how we can work with lookup columns in Power Automate. So if you've seen previous videos, we have this table available with us, employee record. Now, what I'm going to do, I will create another table named as department table. So let me write down. Here. So I'm going to create a new table that is department table. Okay. And currently in my employee table, I have employee ID, I have department name as well, then I have salary and other fields that are not relevant for this video, right? So what I will do, I will delete this department name field from my employee table. Okay, let me do control Z first. So first of all, let me talk only about this table. So we'll create two fields in that department table. The first would be department name, the second would be department ID. Okay, now what we'll do, we will create a lookup. So this particular field department name, I'm going to delete it and I'm going to create a new lookup field here. Okay, and then lookup field will be referencing to my department name from this table. Let me reiterate, I'm going to create a new lookup field. The field name would be something like department lookup field, and this field will reference to department name field from department table. Let me do it practically, then you will able to understand what I mean to say. So I already have my employee record table available. So what I said, I'm going to delete this particular column. So I will go here and let me go back. I'll go to columns. I'll search for department name. Oh, department is a primary column here. Alright, so we can't delete this particular column, but what I will do, I will keep some other name. For example, I will say old field. Okay, and let me edit the data of this field. So this is a primary name field. So okay, this can be deleted. Let me try to delete. Yeah, you see here, fail to delete fields, object dependencies there. Okay, first of all, I will need to remove this field from all these out of the box objects. So I'm not going to do it. So I will simply, rename this field and let me edit the records here. So this is the old field, right? So I'm going to remove the records from here. This was the standalone table earlier, so that's why we haven't considered anything, but now we'll do everything from scratch for this one. So I'm going to create a new table. So I will simply go table. I will go to tables. So in the last video we have created table from this import an XLN file, but this time I want to create a table from blank. So I will give a name to my table. I will say this as department table. P-A-R-T-M-E-N-T, department. Alright. So my first column here would be, I will give the column name as department name. I will say department name, and this is a display name, so I will put a space here. I'm going to update, and I will create one more field here. I will say new column, and this time I will say this as department ID, and I'm going to keep this one as number. Let me save it. Let me save and exit. So my table is ready now. I will go to my, okay, we have put in wrong name here. We should have department. We missed D. But anyway, I can change the label. So I will go to properties here. I'll go to edit table and let me put department correctly and let me save this. So I'm going to go here. I will remove all this field. I only need department table, department ID, and this department name column. I will save this. Alright. And now here I'm going to put department name as HR. I will say this as 1. I will say this as sales. I will give the number as 2. Give number here, say 1. And let me give as 3. I will say ID. And let me give one more record here. I will say this as finance. Alright, so this department table is ready now. And now I will go back to my previous table, that is employee record table. Here I don't need this field, so I can hide it from here. I'm going to add a new field here. I will say this as department name. Okay, and I'm going to choose field type as lookup, and I'm going to relate this with my department table. So I will simply search for department here. Click on drop down. Alright, so the problem is I haven't refreshed this page because I opened this page before creating this table. So I'll need to refresh the page. Okay. So I will open my solution and I will go to that table, that is employee record. And I'm going to add a new column here. Okay, so the column name was department name. We cancel and edit. Okay, here we go. So I will say this has department name something. To distinguish this, I will also write here lookup. And I need to choose this one as lookup. And here I need to relate this with my department table. So with my department table. And let me save this. Alright. You see this is ready now. So what I will do, I will say this is finance, this is HR, this is ID. Alright. Now we have saved the record. Now let me do a few changes here. So what I will do, I will say let's create a flow. I will create a flow. Go to cloud flow and I will go to instant flow. I want to ask, I need all the employee whose department is HR. So how to get that? So I will click here, I will say lookup in Dataverse and I will create this flow. Alright, so I will click on new step. I will go to list rows. And I will choose my table. Remember, I need to fetch record from my employee record table. And what I need to fetch data from this field. So till now what we were doing, that will not work here, but still let's do and let's see what error we'll be getting. So we are simply copying the logical name, right? And we are simply writing equals to HR. Okay, and now let me add a new step here and let me say this as compose. And here I want to get, let's say, each item, and I'm going to save it and let me test it, even though it is going to fail, but still let's test this one out. Copy, test. Okay, let me click on done. Yeah, you see here our flow run failed, and now you see could not find a property named demo department lookup on type, but this is this. Let me click edit here. So let me tell you the reason why we were not able to directly filter this record. This is a lookup column. So in a lookup column, actually the data resides in a different table, that is department table. We are simply referencing these records, especially this record, into this table. So for that, we will need to use schema name here. So let me go here and let me go to list rows, and I will change it to this one, and I will say this. Remember, odata is case sensitive, so be very cautious. Now this itself is not sufficient. Okay, now this schema table, this is a schema field, and let me open this field, and you are actually comparing this field, right? So you need to get logical name from department table and schema name from your employee record table. So here simply copy this logical name, copy this, and simply put a forward slash here and do this. And let's test this one. And I will run my flow. I will say done. And our flow runs successfully. And if you see our flow run exactly one time, and for which record, let us see that. And we come down here. I'm going to copy this, and I will paste this one simply in Notepad. I'll put it here, and I will search for department. Yeah, you see, this is exactly HR column here, like HR value here. And let me come down. This is the actual value, so this value. So let me go back here, and let me cancel this. So you see this HR, you see this value 9F5598. So this is exactly this value. So if you want to get the good value of your department table from your employee record, that is also possible. And now let us assume you want the exact label value, how you can get that. So for that, let me click on edit here. I will write one more compose here. I will simply say this as compose. I will add a compose, and I will rename this. I can say this as something like get actual label. And here I will go to inputs. I can come here, and here I will simply search for my department lookup type. So let me do this. Let me show you each and everything. Let me add one more action here. So this is actually not the label. So if you see, this would be the GUID value, demo department value. So this is exactly this value. So this would be compose GUID of department ID. And let me add one more compose here. I'll say compose, and let me add compose, and let me rename this as actual label ID, or actual label only. It's not an ID. I will go here, I will go to expression, I will write my expression. I can say here items, and then I need to put here apply to each, apply to each, and at the end I will need to give the exact name here, which I can copy from here. Not sorry, this one, where is, this one, this field. I will copy this, and I'm simply going to paste it here, and okay. Let me test this, and we'll see if this works or not. So I'm going to save it. I will run my flow. Let me click on done. get flow run successfully. And here, interesting thing is, as I said, you'll be getting the get value here, and you'll be getting actual label here as usual. Yeah, so in this video we have just seen how we can work with lookup columns, and even how to create them, how to link them, and how we can get the required, important, desired field, and how we can do filtering. So thank you so much for watching this video.